So thank you everyone for joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Heather Paris, and you are here today for 6 easy steps to happiness. I'm assuming that you're all very interested in being happy and living inspired. And some of you might be happy, some of you might not be happy, some of you might want to just get a little more happy, some of you might need a lot more happiness. That's what we're here for today. Happiness is a choice, but often what happens is we forget to be happy. And I know for me, when you read my book, you'll understand, for me, for a few years, I forgot to be happy. Not a few minutes or a few days, but a few years. I literally forgot to be happy. I fell into mediocrity, and I just lost who I was. And I found myself again, and I ended up writing my book and all these great, wonderful things, but we'll get right into it. And this is my first time using a PowerPoint presentation, so bear with me. That's me. So I'm Heather Paris. I'm an inspired life coach. I'm a certified neuro-linguistic programmer, strategic interventionist. I do marriage counseling. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. All sorts of cool stuff. I do a daily blog that's published every day. It's also put into The Citizen in Auburn, New York, if you guys are familiar with Auburn and know that paper. I've been published in magazines and in print ads. I'm also a mom of six-ish. I have 3 biological children. I have 3 stepchildren, although I don't use that step designation, but for this purpose. And then we also have a whole bunch of other children that we've just either taken into our home or taken into our hearts or both. My husband and I have taken in the past couple of years, 3 children. All 3 were homeless. One was living on the streets, trying to survive, living on park benches, and we just took him into our home. The other one couldn't stay at home anymore because his mother was trying to get him to buy and sell drugs for him. And then the 3rd child that we took in was no longer welcome in his home because he dared to be gay. So we took in these children, we love them, and they all have left since. And they're all doing really, really well, so I'm happy to say. So when I say I'm a mom of six-ish, you understand. Plus, I work with children. In my daily practice, I work with couples who are on the brink of breakup. In fact, bless you, last time I was here in April. Last time I was here, I did a talk about relationships and how to have happy, healthy, positive relationships. And there was a young couple, well, actually they weren't a couple, they were broken up, who had come. And he asked me afterwards if I would work with him. So I coached him, and after 1 session, they were back together. And by the 2nd session, he sent me a picture of the engagement ring that she was wearing and be attending their wedding this year. So I'm really excited. People can change. You can be happy. You can have passionate relationships. You can have everything you want in life. And sometimes it's just about learning the tools, and the skills that you need to really make those changes. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to choose happiness because happiness is indeed a choice, but sometimes our life chaos gets in the way and it becomes more difficult. You just don't want to be happy. Sometimes I just want to be cranky. So today I'm going to give you some tools that will help you make life a little less chaotic so that you can make those choices. I'm also used to jumping around all over the place. I'm very animated, but they told me not to. So I'm going to dance right here where I'm at. They said for the video I've got to stay kind of stillish. So today we're going to talk about how happiness is being in alignment. Acting kindly, reacting thoughtfully, and interacting compassionately. It's easier to be happy when you're in alignment with yourself. So where are you guys on the happiness continuum? Before we get started into each of the steps, I want to ask you guys for permission to, whatever's said here stays here. I want you guys to feel really comfortable to interact. For me, a successful presentation is looking out at the audience and seeing heads nodding or smiles or, oh yeah, or hands. Feel free to participate. If you have questions, interrupt me, whatever you want to do, okay? I want to go both ways. So where are you guys on the happiness continuum? Maybe you're depressed and hating life. Maybe you just don't care anymore. It is what it is. How many people have heard people say that? My parents say that. It is what it is. Why? Why is it what it is? We can create something different. Maybe this is where most people end up, just mediocre. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not good. Maybe you're feeling positive. Maybe life's really good. Or maybe you're super freaking happy. Wherever you are, you can bump it up a little or a lot. Okay? And we're going to give you the steps today that'll teach you how to do that. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? All right. Follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. We're going to talk about, who's heard of like the law of attraction or the secret? Yeah. We're going to just touch a little bit about that in the 6th step. So step number 1, if you guys want to write it down, I gave you guys a paper so you can write down the steps. Everything I'm talking about today is in my book. Every single thing comes from my book. Step number 1, determine specifically what you want your life to look like. Determine specifically what you want your life to look like. Most people are vague. But today, I'm here to give you a magic wand. And with that magic wand, I want you guys to really, really think about your life. What it is that you want out of life. The house, the car, the career, the job, how you want to be financially, if you want to travel, that kind of thing. Maybe you want a better relationship. Maybe you want out of the relationship that you're in. Maybe you want a girlfriend, boyfriend, more friends. Jot it all down. You don't have to do it right now. You can if you want to flip it over. Jot it all down and get some ideas going, and don't hold back. Remember, you have a magic wand, not a pen. It's a magic wand. It's magic. It means you can have whatever you want. And life really is created this way because you create it. You're the author of your own book. So wishes are in your head, but plans are on paper. So the reason we write it down, and some people, who's done vision boards before? A lot of you have done vision boards. People do vision boards because they want to keep, I'm walking away again, they want to keep everything right in front of them. They want to have their dreams and their goals manifest. And you do that by keeping them present in your face, in your head, in your thoughts all the time. Because if you just think about something one time and you never give it another thought, is that really going to manifest? No, right? No. But if it's something that you're dedicated to and you write it down, it becomes more real. So step 2. This is a big one that most people tend to just completely forget about. What patterns, habits, or behaviors need to stop in order to ensure your success? Everyone thinks about what they want, but they don't think about what they have to stop to make it happen. It's time to become aware. Awareness. Unhealthy habits are things like smoking, drinking, overeating, nail biting. I bit my nails for years. For years. It was so bad that I actually got an infection and had to go to the hospital, and they said that my fingertip was going to have to be amputated. Luckily, my mom called great-grandma. We called her great-grandma in the wheelchair because she had polio, and that's how we knew her as. And she said, hollow out a potato. I can't even believe I'm telling you this story because my friends still make fun of me. Hollow out a potato and stick it on your finger, and it'll draw all of the poison out. So my mom made me wear a potato on my finger for like 4 days, and then my best friend, Danny, that I grew up with, called me Tater Finger, and he still does. But it saved my finger, and it didn't have to be amputated. You know, so that's some severe nail biting right there. But I did it my whole life until I was about 25. And that's when I started learning some of these steps to set myself up for success, which we'll talk about, and how to start breaking some of the bad habits, some of the things that hold us back. Unhealthy behaviors, gossiping, driving too fast, eating too much, those types of things. Unhealthy thoughts. I'm not good enough. I'm too fat, I'm ugly. Those types of things that we tell ourselves in our heads really hinder our progress and our goals. Does that make sense? I know nobody here has ever done that. But you know, there's people that do that. Unhealthy actions, maybe watching too much TV or using negative words or just being mean or grouchy, that type of thing. When you're stopping your bad habits and you're thinking about what you do, don't sugarcoat it. Be very specific. Really break it down. Don't say, yeah, I'll just start eating healthy. No, say, I will not buy 5-pound bags of M&Ms anymore and eat them in bed. Darn it. Everything in moderation. But these are some of the things that we do. We set ourselves up for failure and we don't think about the things that really need to stop. Ask people that are close to you. Sometimes the problem is so close that you can't see it. Does that make sense? I'm farsighted, so if anything's too close to me, I can't see it anymore. So ask a friend, somebody close, somebody that you trust, somebody that's going to be encouraging, not insulting. Ask them, hey, can you think of any habits or, you know, notice anything that I do? I have a pattern or a bad habit that I do that I should maybe work on? Ask them to be honest with you. It's very, very important that we stop our bad habits because the people that love us, our children, are watching us. And they're imitating what we do, whether we know it or not. Body language makes up 55% of the way you communicate. So if I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm saying, don't smoke, he doesn't hear what I'm saying. He only sees my actions. Tone makes up 38% of your communication. And the words that you use only actually make up 7% of how we communicate. Do you believe me? Have you ever talked to your dog? Try this when you get home. Oh my gosh, you're so ugly and I hate you! They don't know your words, but they know your body language and they know the tone that you're using. And they're a dog, but kids, people, co-workers, friends, family, all the same. They all pick up on your body language and your tone far more than the words that you're actually using. Does that make sense? So let's get on to step 3 because I hate this picture. Awful. Step 3, create the plan and write it down. Now that you guys have jotted down all the notes and all the things that you want and that you want to do, now you're going to use your notes from step 1 and 2 and you're going to create an action plan, a specific plan. Again, you're not just going to say, I'm going to lose some weight. I'll lose some weight. That doesn't sound very convincing, does it? You're going to say, number 1, I'm going to throw out all of the junk food. Number 2, I'm going to purchase healthy food. Number 3, make healthy snacks. I'm going to bag them up so that they're easy to grab. Number 4, I'm going to hire a fitness coach. Number 5, I'm going to replace this bad habit with this instead. An actual plan. I'm using weight loss as an example because that's something that everybody can understand. Even if you don't have to lose weight yourself, you know somebody that has, right? So that's something. Make an actual concrete plan. Write it down step by step by step. Make it measurable. So again, I want to lose some weight becomes all those steps, and by Monday, I'm going to throw out all the food in the fridge. By the following Monday, I'm going to create a shopping list, and I'm going to go buy all the foods that I need to support my success. By different dates, okay? So set up a time to make it measurable. And then back your plan up with emotion. This is the most important thing. Because if I say, yeah, I'm going to work on my relationship this year, do you believe me? No. You know that's not going to happen. But if I say, I'm going to make my relationship rock, I'm going to tell my husband every single day that I love him, we're going to workshops, We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I am dedicated. I'm reading books. I'm going to see that crazy Heather Parris relationship coach. We are going to be on track. We're going to be better than ever, and I am dedicated to this process. Put some emotion behind it. It's vitally important. Emotion is what drives us. We only do things, I see heads nodding, we only do things because it feels good or it feels bad. Sometimes we'll do stuff because it feels bad. Emotion is what drives us. So put emotion behind your goals, and that will make you more successful, right? Feel good, feel happy when we're successful. Those positive emotions will propel us forward and help us keep being successful. Speaking of successes, start small. Does anyone know why most resolutions fail? Anyone want to guess? They start too big. That's exactly right. Because January 1st, well, some people are too hungover. So January 2nd, people wake up and they say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year. It's too big. Our mind can't conceive it. So make goals that are small. If you're trying to lose weight, make a goal to lose 2 pounds. Okay, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to work on losing 2 pounds. That's it. And I'm going to start every single day by putting on my sneakers. I'm not going to join the gym, throw out everything in my house, and then start day one. No, I'm going to create a plan and follow it step by step. And I'm going to take little steps, and then I'm going to celebrate the successes that I have. So in 2 weeks, when you've lost the 2 pounds, celebrate. Maybe take a walk. Maybe go for a ride. Probably don't want to eat a 5-pound chocolate cake if you're trying to lose weight. Celebrate appropriately. But celebrate, because it's really important that we recognize when we're doing a good job and we appreciate ourselves, right? Step 4, prepare for success. This is my favorite step, because this is where you start to do the real hard work, the action steps. You got to ditch the negative Nellies. How many people have or have had people in their life that say, oh, what do you want to do that for? Right? I see a lot of heads nodding. Or why are you trying to do that? Why do you need to change anyway? You shouldn't leave that job. You get paid. People will try to bring you down. So ditch the negative Nellies and the Debbie Downers. Build a network of supportive people. Where are those supportive people? I know for a long time, I was surrounded by people that were like me. Negative, didn't want too much. But I decided that I wanted to change because I had always been a happy person. Well, what happened to that happiness? I forgot. I started to become the average of everyone else. You ever heard that term? We are the sum of those we associate with. So if I'm with a whole room full of negative people and I'm the one positive person, eventually I'm coming down. But if I surround myself with really happy, positive people who are doing and going and getting or whatever it is that my goal is, I'm more likely to elevate to their level and to start being positive. So it's vitally important that you build a network of happy people. Success is right around the corner. What else besides surrounding yourself with positive people, what else can you do? I love Post-it notes. I'm the Post-it note queen. I can't go over there and show you because I have to stay here, but I have Post-it notes everywhere because they remind me. One year, I have a Celebrate Life party every year in August, just for the heck of it. Bless you. And one year, I put up a billboard, and I left Post-it notes and Sharpies, and I had everyone just fill the board with positive affirmations or statements. And it was so cool, and people felt really good about it. When you see a brightly colored note on your mirror in the morning that says, smile, you're beautiful, you're reminded to stop for a moment. Because we rush through life. We get up, we're getting ready for work, we're rushing, I only want my coffee, I got to get the kids out the door, and we forget. So we need those little bursts of color to remind us to take a moment and appreciate what's really important. Does that make sense? Read books, blogs, positive sites. I like to watch what I call transformational entertainment. So we don't have television in our house, but we have Netflix. So we watch stuff like The Secret or What the Bleep Do We Know or documentaries, things where we can learn stuff, things that are going to put good stuff into us. Put good stuff in, you get good stuff out, right? So what happens when you're sitting around, you wake up, you're late, you're rushing, you're sitting around looking at people's drama on Facebook all day, and then you go home, and then you're watching the news, and this one got murdered, and this war is going on, and by the end of the day, you're drained, you're tired, you're miserable, and you're like, why do I feel like crap? My life sucks. No, your life doesn't suck. You just forgot to do the things that were positive. And everyone says, well, I have to know. My mother will not let go of this one. You need to watch the news. You're being irresponsible by not watching it. And I say, well, why? She says, because you need to know what's going on in the world. I said, well, I'm quite certain that you will call me and tell me what's going on in the world, because you always do. You don't have to watch the news. You don't have to watch things that are going to make you miserable. Because for every bad thing that occurs in the world, also something positive happens. For every time somebody gets shot or hurt, somebody is born, somebody falls in love, somebody has a wonderful day, somebody gets an A on a report, somebody just smiles at a stranger and you get all goosebumpily, you know. There's always, always, always something positive to focus on and to think about rather than the miserable stuff. Does this make sense? But it's our choice to look at those things. That's why I say happiness is a choice. Don't settle for things because you're lonely. I hear that from a lot of singles people. I work with a lot of singles that are trying to break some of the bad patterns that they've had in past relationships. And I say, well, what are you feeling? A lady this week, in fact, said, well, I settle for people that I shouldn't because I feel really lonely. And I said, yeah, that's not uncommon. You're not the only one on the planet. It's okay. So what are some of the things that you can do instead? Hi, welcome. Some of the things you can do instead are to join groups. Come to workshops. Everyone who came to this workshop today, nobody here came to the I Hate Life, Let's All Bitch About It workshop. This is the 6 Steps to Happiness workshop, right? So start finding things like this, groups of people who are looking for the same things that you're looking for. Those are the people that you really want to surround yourself with. Again, avoid the television, listen to poetry, music, things that are going to really stir up our souls and our inspiration. By the way, on Facebook, I'm Inspired Heather Paris, and my website is Live Inspired Now. I totally forgot to tell you guys all that stuff. It's because I'm nervous about the PowerPoint. Okay, moving on. Step 5, take care of you. Take care of you. Most people, especially parents, are taking care of everyone else. They're not making any time for themselves. Note to self, there's still a little me in time. Whatever taking care of you means to you, do that. To me, it means going to get my nails done or getting a pedicure. That's like my favorite thing in the world. This Saturday, I go once a month with my girlfriend to Spa Day, and we have some sort of treatment. This Saturday, I'm going and getting a massage. Whatever it means to you. Maybe it means soaking in the tub, having a hot shower, locking your door and telling the kids, Mom or Dad is on a break for an hour. That's it. I need me time. You got to eat healthy, exercise, do the things that help take care of you. I'm not going to tell you what to eat. I'm not going to tell you how much to exercise, but for me, I exercise. You got to exercise every day, at least 20 minutes. I'm not saying join a gym and become a fitness buff. Just walk for 20 minutes, maybe on your lunch break or something like that. I like to rebound, I admit. I don't do it every day, I should. But that's the mini trampoline. Have you guys seen that, jumping on that? Holy cow, that thing is so much fun. I love it. And I'm not perfect. I forget too. In fact, it's leaning up against the wall right now in my bedroom. But I'll do it tomorrow. Ignore the setbacks, because they're going to happen. Days like today, where I'm rushing to get to Syracuse from Port Byron, trying to get the kids out the door. I got one kid that's homesick. Luckily, she's a teenager, so she can stay home alone. Days like this will happen. It's okay. Just ignore it. Who cares, right? You ignore the setbacks. Don't get focused on them. Recharge. Introverts. Who are my introverts here? Do you guys know if you're an introvert or an extrovert? Introverts? Introverts, take some time for yourself. Go lock the door, go sit in the bathroom, whatever it is you got to do. Get some time alone to recharge. The rest of you must be extroverts, right? Who's my extroverts? Extroverts, go to a party, go to a movie, go do something with some friends. Recharge your energy that way. Believe it or not, I'm an introvert. Nobody ever believes me, but it's true. I recharge and get my energy from having some quiet time. My husband, whom I totally forgot to introduce, is an extrovert. He recharges by being around people and doing fun stuff. When we realize these things about each other, we can appreciate each other's needs more. Right? Step 6. Stay positively focused. This is the most important key into remembering to be happy. Because there will be days where you don't do anything, where you talk to the negative person that you said you were going to avoid, where you sit too long on Facebook when you made a conscious effort not to, when you eat all the food you said you weren't going to eat anymore. There's going to be days like that. Stay positively focused. You can change that in a second. You don't have to wait till Monday to start over again. You don't have to wait till tomorrow. Every single moment is new and you can start again right now. Right now. Focus on being grateful and making a contribution. Gratitude is one of the best, most amazing ways to really, really focus yourself and to start appreciating and to feel happy. Because no matter how bad you think it is, somebody's got it worse. No matter how upset you are or how much you've gone through, loss, pain, suffering, somebody else has got it worse. So put it into perspective and don't focus on that. Because every single person on earth has something to be grateful for, even if it's just, I woke up today. I'm grateful for that. Making a contribution. When you focus on helping other people, that makes you feel awesome. Do we have volunteers here? You guys all look like you're the type of people that like to help out and volunteer, give back. I see a finger pointing. Helping, how great does it feel to give back, to help, to volunteer, to help somebody else? If you're trying to lose weight and you don't want to focus on that, help somebody else that's trying. Because when you take the focus off of your own struggle and put it on helping somebody else, it feels amazing. It's like a natural high. That's why I do it. My husband and I are both philanthropists. We're vigilante, what I call vigilante philanthropists. We just do stuff on our own, you know, like kidnapping kids off the street and giving them a home and slipping money into cards and dropping it off anonymously and stuff like that. Whatever it is, we have literally become high from doing it. It just feels great. So when you're focused on giving and contributing, you can't help but be happy. You just can't help it. Don't let other things control you or other people. This is a tough one. I hope you guys will consider getting my book because it tells you in there step by step like how to let go. Most of us just need to let go. Other people anyone who angers you or frustrates you, they control you. They own you. And when you're able to let go of that and let go of the emotional baggage that you've carried forward, you feel so much better. Can you guys see that there's a bird in there? What you focus on is what you see, and a lot of people won't see the bird. When we're talking about other people, sometimes people say, well, I can't let go of my kid. I can't let go of my mother. No, maybe you can't. But I want you all to remember this phrase. My love is unconditional, but my tolerance is not. Because you can love, but you don't have to put up with abuse of any kind from anybody, whether it's a spouse, a kid, a boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, father, whatever it is. My love is always unconditional, but my tolerance is not. So again, it's about what we're focusing on. Your brain is like a computer. 2 plus 2 will always be 4. So what you focus on is what you'll always feel. Does that make sense? So we'll do a little experiment here. Right now, I want all of you to not, whatever you do, do not think about lemons. Don't think about yellow, tart, tangy, juicy lemons. Do not see a lemon. How many of you are doing it? I can see you're all thinking about lemons. I told you not to. You can't think about something and try to not think about it. Does that make sense? So you can distract yourself. You can focus on other things. But sitting there saying, I'm not going to think about it, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to see the owl, I won't see the owl. Once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you hear something, you can't unhear it. Oops, I went too far. That's okay. Your brain being like a computer, it's called, for some of you, you'll want to hear the words The Secret. Some of you watch The Secret. Some of you know what the law of attraction is. Some of you who are more scientific want to hear the words reticular activator. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. Like attracts like. The reticular activator is the part of your brain that makes you see what you want to see, what you're focusing on. Your brain can't take in everything because it would be overwhelmed and inundated with information. So your brain just takes in what it needs. So, for example, when I bought my blue Jeep Liberty, I had never seen a Jeep Liberty. And I went shopping for them, and then I saw this cute Jeep. I'm like, wow, it's like the girl Jeep. I love it. It's so exciting. And so I bought the blue Jeep Liberty. Well, don't you know everyone copied me? They did. They went out and all bought blue Jeep Liberties just like I did. No, it's because now that's what I'm focusing on. That's what I'm allowing myself to see. Over and over and over again, this is what happens. This is why it's so vitally important. I could sit here and tell you, or stand here and tell you, all the miserable things that are happening in the world right now. But they're not happening right here, right now in this room. Right now, what's happening is we're at a workshop. We're learning to be more happy. Does this make sense? So, happiness is inevitable when you realize you can choose how to interpret your own experiences. Are you at a workshop learning some new skills? Or are you waiting for my ride? I guess I'll just sit around and listen to this lady talk. It's all about how you interpret your own experiences. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions? All right, we're going to try something fun. I need to keep my notes here because I always get it mixed up. So if everyone could just stand up for 1 second. I'll do that after. Everyone just stand up. Have enough room to put your arms out. So what I want you to do is I want you to just close your arms and clasp your hands. Keep them like that. Now I want you to notice which thumb is on top. Is it your left thumb or your right thumb, okay? You can stop and if you want to sit down now, but remember which thumb is on top. So who had, let's see, who had the left thumb on top like I did? Left thumb on top. Those are my right-brained dominant people. You want to know what that means? It means you're visual, you're intriguing, you're affectionate, you're passionate, and you're probably a great lover. How about the other one? Right-handed, right thumb. That means you're left brain dominant. You're verbal. You're analytical, highly, highly intelligent, and likely to make lots and lots of money. We're all different. We're all introverts, extroverts, right-brained, left-brained. We're all capable of happiness. It doesn't matter whether you're left-brained or right-brained. It doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. It matters what you're focusing on, what you're deciding to choose for yourself. Does that make sense? These 6 steps are just the beginning. Happiness is an option, but it's an easier option to make when we get our life straight. Does that make sense? When we walk away from the chaos, when we walk away from people that are hurting or harming or talking bad about us, when we start to really focus on things that are important, things that matter, and when we stay on a path of creating happiness, because it's something that we do all the time. I didn't take that magic wand and just make myself happy. Done. No, it's a habit. It takes a continued commitment. And it's a commitment to yourself. Not to me, not to anyone else, but to yourself. If you have kids, it's a commitment to your kids too, because they're learning everything that we do. Parents, I talk a lot about that kind of stuff too in my book as well. So let me tell you really super quick about my book. It's full of transformational information. That's a fan. I was at Barnes & Noble the other day, and my book was on the shelf, which is so exciting to me to see my book like in a bookstore. And this gentleman was nice enough. I was really embarrassed. I said, could you take my picture in front of my book? He said, what do you mean in front of your book? I said, well, I'm an author, and my book's on the shelf, and would you just take my picture in front of it? And he said, yeah, and there was only one book left, and he bought it, and he made me take a picture with him. But that was such a cool thing for me, you know. It's all about making and finding happiness in the smallest of things. So my book is transformational. It's got information. It's a field guide. It's got stories in every single chapter. It's something educational or instructional, followed up by a story of how I learned the lesson. You'll love the honesty lesson. I won't give it away here, but and then at the end of each chapter has quick tips in it. So the book is normally $13, but today we're doing 2 for $20. Before I talk about the next thing, I want to take a moment to introduce my assistant today, who is also my husband. I was supposed to do that in the beginning, but my husband, Thad, is here with me. He is my assistant today. He is my IT guy. He is my manager. He is my best friend. He also edited the book. And he is everything to me. And we have an amazing relationship that started out crazy. We are the Brady Bunch. He had 3 kids. I had 3 kids. They're all the same ages. Yeah, we have 2 18, 2 fit. Well, one's 18 and 19 now, and one's 15 and 16, but they spend a lot of time at the same age. And then 2 12-year-olds. So, and then the kids that we take in as well. So we started out, we had a crazy story, and that as well as in the book. So that's the presentation. I want to tell you guys really super quickly about Happy University, which is a program that I've designed. It's a 6 CD program. It is in production right now, and it's coming out next week. Next week it's going to be on sale online for $199, but you guys can get it today for $129. I don't have them here. If you pay today, it will be mailed to you next week. So we're going to, in this CD program, we talk about more things more in depth. Finding your purpose, taking control, creating those healthy relationships, how specifically to do it, releasing your emotional baggage, supercharging your goals, getting where you want to be, empowering yourself, how to become motivated. That's a question I get all the time. Well, how do I get motivated? Well, there's steps. I like steps. For somebody who's very, had the left thumb over, I like steps, and I guess I'm a little of both. Maybe my thumb should be like that. I saw your thumbs like that originally too. Because I like steps. I like tools. There's a way to do it. You do this. Everyone who's successful had a system. And if we follow the system, then we can find success too in any area in our life, whether it's weight loss, fitness, health, relationships, career, business, whatever it is. There's steps, right? So that's available today to you if you want it. And that was it. That was the last slide. So does anyone have any questions? Do you guys know how to be happy now? Is it more clear? It's clear as mud, right? Does anyone have any questions? Any specific questions? The daytime groups are always so quiet and shy. Last time I was here, the daytime group didn't see anything. I was like, oh my gosh, it's awful. They're hating my guts, And then afterwards, everyone's like, you rocked. I'm like, thank you. And then the nighttime group had a zillion questions. I don't know what it is. The daytime people are shy. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming. I have so enjoyed this presentation. If you're shy and don't want to ask questions from the group, please come up and see me. My husband is right there. If you want a copy of my book, I will sign it too. Or you can talk about setting up. I do one-on-one coaching. That's very limited right now because I am booked up quite a bit. So if you're interested in that, you can talk to me. And thank you very much. Thank you for coming.